Hey there, I'm Lance and I'm a gamer.
And I'm Sam and I'm a non-gamer.
And we are Love to Hate, where we help gamers find great games to play with non-gamers.
And today we're taking a look at Mojo by 25th Century Games. Mojo Dojo Casa House.
Mojo is a card game in which players are going to be trying to get rid of cards from their hand as quickly as possible. This is a hand shredding game, similar in some ways to Uno, but also similar to other games such as Silver or Cabo, if you are familiar with those card games, in which you are trying to have cards laid down in front of you that are the lowest cards, trying to kind of get the lowest score possible in this game. Now, the way this game works is you're going to have a hand of cards that are going to be all different numbers and different colors, and there's going to be a discard pile in the center of the table. Your objective is to try and play cards that are the same number as on top of the discard pile, because every time you do that, you get to go again. So as long as you're playing the same exact number time and time again, you're getting rid of your cards as fast as possible. If instead you play a card that is lower than the number on top of the discard pile, that ends your turn, which is okay. If you play a card that is higher than the number on the discard pile, then you have to draw a card from the draw deck. So in other words, you're not getting more cards out of your hand. You're keeping the same number. So you always want to try to play the same number, and if not, you want to play lower. Now, what are you trying to do? Well, you're trying to get down to 3 cards, because once you have 3 cards left in your hand, you place them face down in front of you. And every time it comes back around to you, you flip one of your 3 cards over, which this signifies to the other players that once all 3 of your cards are flipped over, then the round is over. If you're the first person to lay down your 3 cards, then you have to draw the Mojo card. The Mojo card is going to add an extra 10 points to your score if you did not have the lowest score at the end of the round. So, when you get down to 3 cards, you want to make sure that you're the person with the lowest score. Otherwise, you're going to be taking on negative points. Now, there are some rules about the scoring and how that works. And really, in the simplest way I can put it is, whatever your highest card that you have left of any particular color. So if you have 3 colors left, whatever your 3 highest cards in those colors are going to be your score. All other cards within those colors don't matter. Hopefully that makes sense. So, Sam, let's talk about this one, because like I said, kind of at the top of the video, this is like a combination of Cabo, which is a game we've loved a lot. We've played it with our kids, and Silver, which is a very similar game, with like Uno, right? Like, because you're trying to match the numbers. You're not really trying to match the colors, but the colors kind of coincide with the numbers, so it's similar to that. So what did you think about this one?
I thought it was good. I do think your mind goes to Uno, and so it takes a second, and then the playing is pretty easy to understand. I think the strategy of what 3 cards you have left is the difficult part.
Absolutely. This is a deceivingly tricky game.
Because you can't really have your cards in your hand and decide at the beginning. It has to kind of...
You play it out, and you get about maybe 2/3 of the way into a round when you start to realize, these are the cards that I'm going to be stuck with.
So
what do I
need to play a high card to hope I draw a low card. Because I don't want to get stuck with the 10.
Because there are times when it may be beneficial to play that 13, because you don't want to be stuck with the 13. And even though that makes you draw another card more than likely, hopefully that card's lower than a 13. So there's definitely like not obvious moves that you need to be making through this game that I think is what really kind of makes this game different than other games similar to it. Because some of those other games that we've talked about, Uno especially, there's always the obvious thing that you should do on your turn, right? Like, just play the card that matches. You don't necessarily want to do that with this game. You want to really start to be thinking about, what are the 3 cards I want left in my hand at the end of the round. And you gotta think that through.
You don't want to just throw down all your ones.
Right, exactly, because that's gonna you're gonna be in a bad spot.
You're out of cards, but now you're stuck with 3 tens. You're screwed.
Yeah, exactly.
In different colors.
And I really like the timing factor with this one too, in that if you are the person who goes out first, laying down your 3 cards, you're stuck with that Mojo card, which could really hurt you. Because now other people have an opportunity. They got 3 rounds to really shape up their hand to beat you. So sometimes you don't even want to be the person who goes out.
Yeah.
So it's a really interesting concept. Anything about it that didn't work so well for you?
I don't think so. I really liked this game. I thought it was a lot of fun. I liked the strategy behind it. And it goes so quickly that it's easy to play a second round and third round to kind of figure out what's going to work best for you.
Yeah, I think the only thing about it, and this is not a con necessarily for the game, the player count is 3 to 8. It does have a 2-player variant. I don't know that I would recommend it being only a 2-player game. I do think this is a game that you want higher player counts to get the full feel for it. When I say higher play counts, I think really I'm just saying 4 or more.
Yeah.
It probably works fine at 3. We didn't play it at 3, but with that, competition, having more people trying to compete to get down to 3 as fast as possible. I think the more players you have, probably the better. So just kind of keep that in mind as you're looking at this game. All right, so Mojo, one that you would recommend playing with non-gamers?
Yes, if we had travel games anymore, this would go in that box.
She's talking about, we recently, I shouldn't laugh, we recently got in a wreck, and it was really bad, and all of our stuff got totaled, including our travel games.
Our whole box of travel games was in our camper.
This might be the first one to go in the new travel box.
It will be flame-proof and locked and...
The steel box.
Yeah.
Can't be destroyed.
But
the game is Mojo from 25th Century Games. Leave us some comments down below. Let us know what you think about this one.
Make sure to like and subscribe and push that bell button so you get notifications of all our new content.
I'm Lance.
I'm Sam.
And we are Love to Hate, where we try to bridge the gap between gamers and non-gamers. We'll catch you next time.